fought for it, and I am so grateful to the Junos for accepting this award. So, yay! We're gonna do that next year, and we're gonna celebrate tonight. So this is it's party time.
All right. Are we live, gentlemen? Yes, we are. Welcome to the P6 Studios. This is www.musicallyspoiled.com, and my name is Flipside, and I'm absolutely thrilled to be here with the amazing and now chairwoman of the underground dance music category, single of the year, commencing in 2022. I am just absolutely filled with pride to call you that. Let's hear some noise in the chat. Come on, give it up for Cindy Blue in the house. How are you?
I'm really good. I'm so happy to be here with you guys. Oh, especially after all the work we did for this category. I'm so happy. It's a good day.
So before we talk about the Juno Awards and your leadership and how you took point and really helped us, you fired us all up. But I want to talk about the Conviction album.
Yeah.
First of all, congratulations.
Thank you.
As you know, Vibrate is like my cut. I've been hammering that in my sets. It's so good. But what I loved about it is, like Joanne's like my sister from another mother, legitimately. Like we have this connection, and I was really impressed by the album because I heard your evolution and your growth.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about the process behind Conviction, especially like from a producer's perspective.
Okay, so I started it basically in Berlin, and when I moved to Berlin, I was like really inspired by going out all the time because it's a totally different world over there. Like they go out as a culture, nobody has any shame in it. They go out all the time, every week, every day of the week, and it's cool because you don't feel bad about going out all the time. And so I was just sucking in the culture there. So at the time, I was going into a studio in Berlin that I was able to write half my album in, literally. And I was taking my projects from my laptop. I would literally get home from the club sometimes at weird hours of the morning and day or whatever.
Is that when I would get the random WhatsApp messages?
Exactly. And then I jump on my laptop. Like the way that I write music is just basic. I write it on my laptop with a MIDI controller, And basically I would start these projects. I'd go into a proper studio. I'd finish my records there so they sounded really good and dope and like clean and crisp and mixed down. And I wrote probably maybe 8 records there. And that was over the course of all of 2019. I got Fritz Helder into the studio for one of our records that we did. I
love that one.
Monologue. Yeah.
So good.
And it was a really incredible experience because I was learning from so many other producers there. I was connecting with other DJs. Like the entire city is all DJs. And so it's unbelievable. Like if you're not a DJ, I don't know what you do in Berlin, literally. So it was really cool because I was just there with all these other musicians and DJs and producers and stuff. So we were all feeding off of each other. It would be long hours of talking, at the club, and then, we reconnect in the studio. And I got to know so many different people. And I basically, when COVID hit, I had to finish the album. So, because we had a due date because the album was factor funded, so I had to hand that album in and release it by a certain time. I think the due date was like August. So when I came back to Canada, because COVID had hit, I basically set up shop in my mom's house and I finished the album there on my little laptop and my MIDI controller.
In Thunder Bay, Ontario. Hometown pride.
I wrote Conspiracy on my mother's kitchen table.
That's
on my mother's dining room table.
A tidbit of knowledge that we learned today. Now, obviously, I would love to talk to you even longer about this, but we have the awesome Tiki Tie on deck and ready to go.
Yeah.
So that's a bit of the backstory on the Conviction album. Of course, you can hear it on Spotify. You can buy it at Beatport, Track Source as well.
Yeah.
Apple Music. Now, let's talk about the Juno Award quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Because obviously Mark Quayle, of course, the Attorney General, we were, there to help you, but really you were like the fire. So tell us about that experience and what I want to know is, as a friend and someone who loves you, what was that driving force? Why did you think this needed to happen?
I think it needed to happen because I had some time off in 2017, and that was the time that I called you and I said this needs to happen because I was just sitting in Thunder Bay after being like off for a month. I think I had a little bit of time, and I like had looked at the Juno nominations for the past like 10 years, and it was all EDM. And up until like when you were getting nominated, which was like around 2008, 2009. So outside of that, like it's now 2021. There hasn't been any underground nominations in like 10 years. That's not good.
Facts.
Yeah. So like I literally looked at the nominations because we had been on the committee for a couple years, me and you, and I was like, this isn't right. And I looked at it and I said, I think I called you. You were the first person I called about
full
it.
transparency, we would hear tracks trying to be nominated, and it's all no disrespect because the producers are engineering-wise, they're amazing.
Yeah.
It's just it wasn't dance music.
No,
it was
no.
pop music.
Yeah.
And we were really frustrated
Yeah.
and looking at each other from across the table like this was really weird.
Yeah, our community was missing. And it's hard when you live in a community in Canada where you're playing all over the country and you have this all these DJs and musicians and artists that are playing alongside you, but none of them are getting recognized at the Junos. That's where it all came from.
Yeah.
It just, the way that I saw it was clearly the Junos are not aware of what our community is. So it was really important to me to educate them on that. And that's where it came from. And when I saw them be so receptive to it in 2019, when our first meeting, I was like, let's go for it. We're taking this home.
Well, can I say on behalf of everyone watching the chat, thank you for that, because I remember we were at the Canadian Music Hall of Fame at the Caris headquarters.
Yeah.
And what was amazing was you were able to open their minds as, you know, like just to hear us out, which is the hardest thing, is to get them to hear us out.
Yeah.
Because the Canadian scene has been rich with incredible artists going back to the early 1900s in every other genre. And I think they just needed to learn about our evolution, just like rock and jazz and many other forms of music.
Exactly.
It was a growth thing. And
Yeah.
I just want to say thank you for it. And it's just amazing to see it all over the news today. And honestly, the future looks bright. So thank you so much. And thank you for coming on Musically Spoiled.
Yes, I'm so happy to be here. It's such a perfect ending to the most incredible day ever, being able to announce this amazing news. And yeah, I hope everybody submits next year. We're going to be talking about this for the whole year. So
Totally. Well, thank you so much to Sydney Blue. Thank you to P6. And also the other DJs, Miss Chris, Jackie Spade, Jules Bangsworth. Yup. And of course, Miss Megs. Joanne, you absolutely smashed the Sydney Blue, man. Oh, by the way, I put that new track yours with Dante's in my new chart.
yes,
That hood shit.
waiting for you. Oh, yeah. And that hood shit is dope too.
Ah,
That is
thank you.
dope.
So on that note, thank you, Joanne. Thank you, Sydney Blue. And of course, to the P6 fam, I'm so excited to welcome the next DJ, the wonderful and talented Tiki Tai in the house.
Yes.